Hello, thanks for joining us. My name is Bill Stone, and we're going to be walking through one of the big 5 temperament scales, conscientiousness. Understanding temperament helps us understand the below-the-waterline behavioral preferences that dictate our successes and failures. And we can measure these tendencies, we can nurture them and coach ourselves to greater effectiveness making business decisions. This, of course, means taking personal responsibility for becoming more self-aware and using that self-awareness to be better at being who we are. If you haven't yet downloaded our Big 5 Temperament Scale from our website, I'd encourage you to do that, as I think it'll be helpful to have that in front of you as we progress here. I also encourage you to contact us if you have any questions or you'd like to see us come to your site and apply some of the principles we're discussing here. All right, everybody who does not want to be seen as conscientious, raise your hands. Well, maybe there are 7 of you out there, but for the most part, we all want to be seen as conscientious. The trick here is learning how we prefer to approach our efforts at being conscientious. Life is full of rules. In order to get along with the folks around us, there have to be some set of expectations that we adhere to so we know what's being expected of us, whether this means a constitution or just being polite and what being polite means. Some of these conventions and some of these rules we adhere to, others we don't adhere to quite so much. And there are even those among us who seem to make up their own rules as they go along and look for ways to defy convention. Managers are challenged with the problem of having rules that help the company move ahead and that make sense in the context of what you're trying to accomplish without squelching that imagination is really what's going to make your company agile in a very volatile, ever-changing global economy. Now, some folks seem to want to make up their own rules as they move along, and these renegades seem to rely more on their own judgment than ever taking direction from authority, and at times may even seem to define authority. They do have a particular gift for planning and creating new ideas, think outside the box, if you'll pardon that expression. Not only do they think outside the box, they don't even know or care if there ever is a box. They just want to move ahead and rely on their own judgment. On the other hand, we have those folks who adhere to the rules and see them as important, that understand rules may be established for civil order, and at times that's very helpful, but they also have the problem of following rules blindly, maybe to the detriment of the company because they don't recognize when some rule is now out of date, that they go by organizational policies more so than what may make a good business decision. I was working with one company to help them understand the personality and temperament of their organization and see how that temperament helped them move ahead and how it got in their way. I was working with a particular group of managers that did not seem to be conscientious at all. And what it turns out, they said, yes, we have lots of conflict with our head office because we make decisions based on the principles of engineering, rather than the way the company wants us to do them. Effective managers tend to lean more toward following rules, but they also, like these engineers, have to have the flexibility to recognize when the rules aren't working and be able to generate a new set of rules to accommodate the new situation or whatever they may find themselves confronting. When you're working with a prospective candidate, you want to take a time to ask them about times they may have taken a shortcut or gone outside the boundaries in order to be more effective in their work. This will give you a sense of where they are on this scale and how they might fit into your organization. If you're doing a performance review or working with an employee you want to encourage to continue working for you, you can ask them point blank, how have company rules gotten in your way? What could we change to help you be more effective? This will help you come to understand their level of creativity and understand how you can coach them in the future. Again, as I've mentioned before, it's good to be just a tad dim-witted, get them to explain things so that you can understand how they approach this conscientiousness scale and what you can do to help them be creative but still stay on the straight and narrow when that's important to do so. If you have your Big 5 temperament scale sheet in front of you, you can see that next we're going to be looking at extroversion. Now, I hope you'll continue to be conscientious enough to continue with our series. I certainly appreciate your listening to this segment. And if you've ever wondered if you were the life of the party or the wallflower, then this is Bill Stone inviting you to listen to our next segment, Extroversion. Thanks for being part of the program.